You get your computer fun. And boy, Orbe with another nice attempt there, trying to center it. Bowers has played quite well.
She has, and she had the potential assist there and then wins this 50-50 ball to give them another chance.
There's Orbe. And boy, Bowers way out of the goal.
She's got to have to hustle back because here comes Rockville again.
Here comes
We just
Smet.
saw Orbe with that last chance, and while the replay was showing, she had another one.
Guzman just missed the top corner. That was a good effort because, as you've said, Sean, the one place to put it where it's going to go in more than half the time are those upper corners.
Absolutely, and in our last televised game against Catonsville, Rockville really outplayed Catonsville through the majority of the game. And on a corner kick, Catonsville had one of those unsavable shots that just glanced off the top of the crossbar and out of bounds. And that's how close it was to an equalizer in a 1-0 win for Rockville.
And we have not seen much offense out of Frederick here in the second half. I don't believe they've had a shot on goal. Am I correct, Sean? I don't think they've had a shot on goal this half.
I believe you're right. There was one challenge deep that was fairly easily thwarted by Katie Vivian.
Rasmick in for Rutherford.
You wonder if Rutherford's done for the day, just with a 3-goal lead and the excellent way that Masha has played this afternoon.
We're almost halfway through the second half, as Rockville enjoying a 3-0 cushion here. Rockville, the number 1 team in Maryland JUCO, the number 2 team in the nation. They've only lost 2 games this year, and they have an amazing goals versus goals against percentage. They've had some real high-scoring games.
And this is it's a plus and minus late in the year. Rockville has obviously dominated this game. They have a 3-0 lead thus far, but in Coach Wakeman's eyes, she probably thinks it should be 5 or 6-0. So you can take some good out of this game, but you're a little bit nervous that your team's not playing at their absolute best with just a few regular season games still left to play.
No, I think having talked to Kelly Wakeman a lot this season, one of the things she sees here is that she's got a team with tremendous talent, and she wants them to peak at the right time. So obviously you don't want them to peak too early, and you want them to peak. We're getting close to the time where you're going to want them to peak. Obviously, when you get into the tournaments is what the postseason tournaments is where you really want them to peak.
Absolutely, and she has players with the right mentality for that. They practice 6 days a week in the off season. They practice frequently during the season. They're here to win games, and they want to go to Texas. We've talked to them, and that's where they said they want to wind up this year. So, this is not the case of the coach driving the players where they don't intend to go. These are players who are determined to get to Texas, and a coach that knows how to get them there.
They are hungry, and of course, Texas meaning that's where the national tournament will be held this year for women's junior college soccer. It'll be held in Texas, and all to a person when we asked them, well, how far do you think this team can go this year? Texas.
And it was without hesitation. Kylie Rasmick with a pretty solid shot right there. Little space and room to operate. She wanted to see what she can do. And it seems to be a theme of a lot of the players. If they're around 30 yards out and they have some space to shoot, they're going to pull the trigger.
Well, I think that is one thing that Wakeman has also emphasized. She wants them not to be afraid to pull the trigger. And as a matter of fact, there's a few players she'd like to be a little more aggressive, Julia Baca being one.
Absolutely, and that a lot of the 2 of the 3 goals today, well, actually all 3 goals, but especially the first 2 were functions of that pressure, that ability to shoot from anywhere on the field. You don't know where it's coming, so you can't position yourself accordingly.
Rasmick with a good attempt there, a little long. Trying to center it for Guzman. And
here's a dangerous one.
Here's a dangerous one, is right. A little hard off the head there of Quinones. Crystal Quinones, one of 4 on this team who went to Covenant Life High School in Gaithersburg. Came over as a unit along with Katie Vivian and Laura Galbraith and Julie Bowers. Really formed the kind of the heart of this team this year.
Absolutely, and it's nice to see the continuity. It's one of the neat features of a junior college is that you get teammates from a solid program that are used to playing together, and then they can continue to play together. You already have some chemistry built in. And on some teams, the negativity of that is you can quickly develop clicks, but not so with this team. All these players get along. They really love playing for each other, and chemistry is so important in team sports, especially with the unselfish way that these players are asked to play, with players giving up some of their offensive ability to play on the midfield or in the back.
Yeah, Kelly Wakeman feels that a couple of things about that. First of all, she feels the chemistry here is one of the strengths of the team. And the other thing she said is that the core group, the group that came out for the very early preseason practices, made it their business to welcome in any players that were late additions to the squad. And there were a few. And they made it their business to make sure that everybody was a tight-knit group.
And it goes without saying, because we've said it quite a bit, that Kelly Wakeman is an outstanding coach. But you can't measure the impact that you have when you have players who are leaders and players who are welcoming in and kind of sending the message of here's how we practice, here's where we want to go. And then the whole team is bought into that mentality that they're going to practice hard, they're going to have a lot of fun, and they expect to win every game that they play.
Yep, they sure do. And they're not going to be satisfied with anything less than that. So got about 19 minutes to go in the contest. Rockville holding a comfortable 3-0 lead at this point as Omnia Johar comes in off the bench. And she's going to replace Claudia Guzman.
You think that might be it for the day for Guzman, but excellent work out there today. Didn't get on the scoreboard, but she was part of the emergent pressure on the team when she got in the lineup.
Absolutely. And
nice play through there from Kylie Harden, looking for Lena Orbe, and that's some of that nonverbal communication that you get when you work together. Orbe just kind of threw her hand out there, and the pass placed pretty well, but Frederick very much packed in on defense here. I think they're trying to keep it a 3-0 game.
Sean, we've got another little break in the action here while they retrieve the ball. Well, let's see how this plays out. It's something I want to. Oh, nice shot there by Harden, but a little high. So, Sean, one of the things that I like the most about working here at Montgomery College Television is that we get to work with many of the students in the television program here at the college. As a matter of fact, we could not, and I mean this, we could not do a game like today without students serving valuable roles on our crew. And today we have a number of current and former students helping us out today. We've got Garrett Quinn. There's Alex Marquez. And let's see who else we've got. There's Thomas DeVita, otherwise known as Tommy the Toe. And there's Stephen Burdett. Tara Garwood over there at the scores table feeding us all kinds of great information. Corey Wallace is there's Corey. Corey was in my television class. I taught Corey here at Montgomery College. So it really is.
Despite that, he's still an excellent prospect in the television world.
I know. He survived. He survived that semester and kept his head above water. And he's still in the business. Amazing. But it is one of the great parts about working here. We really, to me, one of my favorite aspects of this job is getting to work with students. And I know a lot of my fellow producer directors here and everyone on staff feels the same way.
Absolutely. And in all seriousness, Michael, this is a fantastic place for students to go to get a start on a television career. We can speak specifically to that, even though Rockville, an outstanding school in many departments. But what a great place to come to be able to learn hands-on what it takes to do an excellent TV production.
No doubt about it. It is a hands-on type program here, the television program. You're not sitting around learning theory for the first 2 years. You're getting your hands on the equipment, learning how to operate it.
No, and it's one of those things that there's a lot of ways to get things done in the television world. You can learn from the textbook how to do it, and then you get out into the field. You have a cloudy day. What do? You're in a small room. How do you set your microphone? And these are the things that the students get to learn that separate mediocre television production from an excellent one, and people that get hired from people who are just kind of still looking for stuff to do.
That's right. So here we are, Katie Vivian running down Paulvey. Rockville, again, enjoying a nice, comfortable 3-0 lead. We've got about 15 minutes to go in the contest. We had a little clock problem, so that's why I'm saying about and almost, because we're not exactly sure. They keep the time on the field, the officials do. And it can and often does vary from the scoreboard clock. There's our lead official there, Gary Satterfield. And it does look like Wakeman may be resting some of her players here for the balance of the half.
But this is a good chance for the players who usually don't play up front to break through with a goal. They're really keeping the pressure on, but it looks like all 22 players are tired, regardless of the amount that they've played today. It's really hot out there today.
I'm looking over at the Rockville bench, and I see Lily Trujillo with her leg up on the bench, number 9. That was the leg that was wrapped in the first half. She came out in the second half with it unwrapped, so could be that she's having a bit of a hamstring problem. Again, we don't want to speculate, but we don't know for sure. But she wasn't 100% today. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, and she wanted to get back on the field. Wakeman wanted to put her back on the field, get her back into a rhythm, and get her ready for the postseason. I have no doubt that she'll be 100% by then.
They have a great training staff here at Montgomery College. Longtime trainer Carrie Steele does a great job. She works long, hard hours. She's here on weekends. She's here on nights, covering the games and doing a great job. Carrie is over there on the bench area, standing right next to Kelly Wakeman under the tent there, and I'm not sure we can get a good shot of her because of the shadows.
Solid diving attempt by Bowers.
Oh, she wants one bad. You know that. Wakeman talks about players that are hungry to score, and she is one of them.
Absolutely. Definitely a team player, playing sweeper primarily, getting some midfield action today, and I think she wants to capitalize on that and get on the scoreboard.
She loves the offense, but she does whatever it takes for the team. And that's why she moved to sweeper and has done such a super job.
Omnia Johar is really making an impact on that right side of the field. She's gotten a lot of balls in deep.
She had a couple of good attempts in the first half, near the end of the half. It's nice to see her getting so much action because she really is a very, very solid, hard-working player.
And a little bit of teamwork right there. McKenna Smet with the ball on her feet came up, and Julie Bowers sank back, made sure that they were balanced defensively, and now they switch again. Julie Bowers back up to the midfield. So she can identify with her teammate Smet, who has to sit back there and play the balls back to her with not a lot of opportunities right now in the second half to do that. So she wanted to give her a chance to move up for a second.
Well, it's also a sign of someone who really understands the game and sees the field well.
Absolutely.
That's kind of great to see. I mean, a lot of times you're just not going to see that kind of play a lot of times. And we've got a looks like number 7 for
Bethany
Frederick.
Lisk.
Yeah, has come up a little bit lame there. Collision right there at the center line. And she's still moving very gingerly. Santiago actually got her hands on the ball there. That may be the first time this half Sean. Maybe one other time.
I can't recall. You might be right. It's the first time.
Yeah.
And now Frederick looking to get a little something going on their end.
Lisk's still not moving well. There's Paulvey making a rush.
And she wins the quarter. Katie Vivian really playing outstanding on defense today. Seems like every ball is come her way. And still only 4 shots on goal for Frederick, and a lot of that's a function of the defense not getting the ball towards Santiago.
23 shots on goal for Rockville, only 4 for Frederick. This is approaching a very dominating win. Obviously, there's still plenty of time left in the game, but it's beginning to look like a dominating win here for Rockville.
And it looks like Frederick is down to 10 players again. Bethany Lisk was shaken up on that foul at midfield. So looks like she'll be down the rest of the game.
She is off the field and in the shade, and there's Carrie Steele. The way it works here is that the visiting team normally does not send a trainer with them, and the home trainer will take care of both squads. So Carrie Steele is administering to Lisk for Frederick.
And knocking Lisk out of the game just sort of speaks to the physicality. Diana Cabrera, the smallest woman on the pitch, with a good clean foul that time, really making a play on the ball, nothing dirty there. And what made such a physical play that it knocked Lisk out of the game, which is frankly a tactical advantage when there's no substitutes there, and nothing dirty at all about it, just a good hard play.
Just a good hard play. And we noticed that Cindy Climaco came in for Crystal Quinones. So Cindy getting some action here in the second half as well. They're still trying to get her back into game shape. She's missed a couple of weeks with a knee problem.
And knowing Coach Wakeman, there's as we said, we don't know the exact amount of time, but around 9 minutes left, and she probably wants at least another tally on that board.
I wouldn't be surprised, and knowing her, she will not be satisfied if she doesn't get it. And
this brings up one of those difficult things. Clearly, today, Rockville, the better team. Where's the line between sportsmanship and respecting the game? You still want to play hard, and the object in soccer is to get the ball into the net. You don't want to just lay back and have possession, because that's no fun for either team.
So, yeah, what is the strategy here for Rockville? And, of course, Kelly Wakeman with a tremendous amount of respect for the Frederick team and their coach. She doesn't want to do anything that would embarrass Frederick. But then again, like you say, the players need to play hard, because a lot of times, Sean, when they cut it down a gear or two is when you get injuries.
Absolutely, and to me, having played games and on any level, when a team is clearly outclassed you and they're just sort of toying with the ball and running out the clock, to me that's more frustrating and humiliating than a team just trying to continue to execute. Obviously, Wakeman mixing in her substitutes, so that's all you can do as a coach, but you can't tell them not to play hard, especially when they're players who don't see as many minutes.
That's right. So I think it's being played the right way here. There's no question about it.
And to their credit, Frederick's still trying very hard. There was the flurry at the beginning of the half from Rockville, and things have settled down, still 3-0.
Their defense has played very well. Of course, they have played a very defensive style. But their defense has played very well today. They've against relentless pressure.
Right. It's one of those things where if they recorded time of possession in soccer, we might see 75 to 15 here as far as minutes on each side.
Yeah, we're under 8 minutes now to go in the contest. Rockville on top, 3-0. We're coming to you from Montgomery College in Rockville, the soccer pitch here. Michael Brown alongside Sean Coburn. And
Omnia Johar wins the corner. Looks like she got a little shaken up, but she's walking it off.
The game has had its physical moments. There's no question. Here comes Lauren Kelsey in for Kylie Rasmick. So another substitution. And this is Harden with the corner kick. And, ooh, nice attempt there by Rutherford. Almost had that head goal.
And you see the reaction from Rutherford. She wanted that extra goal for her team.
Oh, absolutely. She's had 6 goals on the season. She knows where the back of the net is.
And we talk about they like this play to sneak the player back for the header, and Rutherford one of the best at executing that.
Hey, and Sean, what a great shot that was by our camera guys. Unbelievable footage that we've seen here today.
Yeah, it's really a credit to the work that they put out there, and we have the fun job, Michael. We come here and we get to talk about it, but there's the setup involved. There's standing out there and making sure that there's an excellent camera shot. And anyone who's ever tried to run a camera knows that it's a lot more difficult than throwing that thing out there and pointing it.
Boy, that's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. Particularly on a day like this where it's warm and sunny, it's a tough job. There's no question about it.
Absolutely. You're battling the elements, and, hey, you're going to get a little bit sweaty, and you got to keep a good grip on the camera.
Yep. And it's hard. These are moving objects here, folks. Moving at high speeds. We're not photographing potted plants here. So, Rockville.
Photographing potted plants is not on the Montgomery College YouTube channel, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay.
No, it is not. We have much more interesting stuff on there than that.
Yeah, from what I've seen, whenever I click on an episode, I continue watching all the segments. So potted plants was something I might skip, but luckily not an option.
And we are down to almost the 4-minute mark here in the match. Rockville cruising at this point. Still playing aggressively, but the game getting pretty close to well in hand, Sean.
Yeah, and you can see kind of the body language on the field that they're trying to wrap it up. And, Rockville's still trying to get that last tally. You can see some of the players really efforting to get the ball in the net one more time.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody wants to score.
And for Frederick, you wonder how much does this play into as a moral victory if the score stays like this. They lost 4-0 at home and now 3-0 on the road, a 1-goal improvement off of your home field.
I would have to think that they could take a lot of positives out of this game. Their defense has played very well. Bowers has had tremendous saves and goal.
Absolutely. She has saved 3 sure goals today. It could very easily be 6-0.
Oh, easily. And the relentless pressure that she's faced. I mean, you can't compare the pressure that she's been under versus Santiago. It's absolutely night and day.
And Rockville is not the number 2 team in the country for no reason.
No.
So we've talked about the sort of disappointed from a fan of the game's perspective that Frederick hasn't really committed a lot offensively. They haven't shown a lot, but it's when you're playing Rockville, you have to kind of make your decision of where you're going to stick your players. So I would imagine that Frederick much better offensively in most of the games that they play.
Oh, absolutely. Although they have had some problems scoring this year because of the injuries. They lost a couple of offensive stars to ACL tears, and they had to switch some players around. And it's been a tough season in some ways. It's been a good season in some ways. And as Frederick here getting ready to throw it in, we're approaching just a couple of minutes left now in the contest.
A few seconds ago, Masha Rutherford getting in one more shot. She wasn't going to leave the field without knocking somebody else down.
All right, Sean. Now I know we still have a couple of minutes of action left, but I think we can both agree the game is pretty well in hand for Rockville. So even though I know that after a game like this, it can kind of be a tough call to pick a player of the game, we've got to do it. So who do you think it should be?
I think we have to go with Lena Orbe here. Didn't get the start today, but she came into the field, made a great impact. assisted the first goal, scored the third one, and really could have scored the second one if it didn't wind up being an own goal. Her and Lillian Trujillo really closing in on the goal for that own goal.
Well, Lena Orbe had 4 shots on goal, 1 goal, 1 assist. She definitely changed the tone, I think. The offense suddenly became more aggressive when she came into the game, it seemed.
Yeah, and it was the first time this team has had all 3 of their captains on the field when she substituted into the game in quite some time.
Another good attempt there by Smet. She was going for it.
And McKenna Smet really had an impact in the first half when she was playing midfield, winning a lot of balls, distributing them. She was an early contender for player of the game, and certainly Cabrera really made her presence felt when she came in. When you win 3-0 in such a dominant fashion, there are a lot of players that you could choose to be the individual best performer on the game. But today, Orbe, the star among stars.
Absolutely. The praise could be passed around. That is the end of our match. And the final score from the Rockville campus of Montgomery College, the Montgomery College Rockville Knights 3, the Frederick Community College Cougars, nothing. Sean and I will be right back with some final thoughts after this. Welcome back to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College in Rockville, Maryland. Michael Brown alongside Sean Coburn. And once again, our final score, the Montgomery College Rockville Knights 3, the Frederick Community College Cougars, nothing. And Sean, nothing short of a dominant performance by Montgomery College.
Absolutely. From one end of the field to the other, outmatched all 11 players, performed today, and raised their level time and again from the first half to the second half, and then the substitutes even played better in the second half. So that's a tough thing to do when you're clearly the better team to play at an even higher level.
Well, we got word from the sidelines that at halftime, head coach Kelly Wakeman was not happy. And they were leading 1-0 at halftime, but she was not happy. And she moved some things around. She moved some players around. She obviously lit a bit of a fire because the pressure that they exerted in the first half was doubled in the second half.
Yeah, and that's a coach with the finger on the pulse of her team, and that's what you need as you come into the postseason, knowing who's going to play well and who's going to play better when you give them certain talks.
Well, talking about dominance, let's take a look at some of the stats from today's game. That is a story of dominance.
I mean, what do we even say about that? And the 4 shots, mostly statistically correct shots, but really no chances to speak of for Frederick.
No, Anna Santiago really in the second half had no saves to make. And in the first half, her saves were simple ones. 26-4 in shots, 7-3 in corners, and of course the big difference, 3-0. And then there again is our player of the game, Lena Orbe, down there at the bottom of the graphic.
Yeah, and Lena Orbe played great, and you saw the players step up at the midfield, particularly Julie Bowers in the second half, playing in the midfield for the first time this season.
Yeah, that was great to see. I thought it was a nice move that Kelly Wakeman made. She moved Julie Bowers, normally their sweeper, was moved up to midfield, got in on the offensive action. That seemed to really light a fire under the team. I think they were excited to see her there.
Yeah, she certainly brought some energy, and Masha Rutherford, we can't wrap up without talking about her. Great energy, really set that spark in the second half, and had the assist, really the shot on the own goal.
Well, there's no question about that. Great game for them. Great game for the Knights. Once again, our final score from the Rockville campus of Montgomery College, the Montgomery College Rockville Knights 3, the Frederick Cougars nothing. And from all of us at Montgomery College Television, thanks for watching, everybody.